Hi, everybody. I wanted to talk today about what I do when I bleed or how my cycle works. Just some magic, some rituals that I like doing. We are always in the cycle, not just when you're bleeding. And a huge pet peeve I have is people speak about women's cycles, both women and men, and everything between, as it's this shitty process. It's horrible. It's painful. We hate it. It disrupts our lives. And it only disrupts your life when you live as if it doesn't exist. So your cycle, if you're somebody who bleeds, your cycle works like seasons. You have autumn, winter, spring, summer. You have every week you're moving hormonally into a different season. You wouldn't leave the house in the middle of winter in a tank top and shorts and then get upset that you didn't get a tan or get upset that it's cold. There's an understanding, there's an attunement of in the winter, you're home, you're making soup, you're bundling up, you're reading, you're slowing down. It's an invitation. The same thing's happening with your hormones. When you're bleeding, it's an invitation to your body, to your life of these are the days that we're going to go really slow. These are the days where the focus is going to be inwards in the home. These are the days where we want to make our life feel like a warm cup of soup. When you're ovulating, when that's your summertime, just like any summertime, those are the nights happen a lot later. There's more energy in the world, there's more abundance, there's heat. That's the time where we can go out and socialize and create and manifest and go on live and connect with all these people. The winter is really that inverse of that. Your period, your bleeding time is the inverse of that. So I have different things I do in each phase and each season of my cycle. But I want to talk today about what I do right before I bleed, because I find it really, really helpful. What people deem as PMS, what people villainize as the worst part, where you become a monster, or you're not yourself, or you make rash decisions, that's actually a time in your life where all the things that you ignore and all the things that you can push down actually can break through the repression, can break through the suppression and come out. It's unpleasant in feeling. It might feel sharp, but think about it like any autumn. The leaves are sharper. We're releasing things. Things are no longer feeling sustainable like they were at different points of our cycle. So what I do right before my bleed is naturally there's the inner critic is really, really loud. The bully is saying a lot of things. And I write out a list of all of the limiting beliefs that are coming up because they're coming up anyways. Catch them. It's an opportunity. And I write them all down. So it can be like, I'm not really a good coach. Another thought that I had is, my life is never going to change. I'm stuck in this phase. Or my, money is always, I always have to hustle for it. It will never come easily. Whatever the beliefs are, write them, catch them. And you'll notice that as you start writing them down, it's going to be so many. I have like 60 to 80 a month, just, and when I bleed, that's when you're most intuitive. That's when you're spiritually actually most open. It's the winter, it's the darkness. There's this amorphousness that's happening that you can actually move through energy a lot faster. It's a lot more power. It's your winter time. It's that time of internal, what's that Dutch word? Hygiene, I don't remember. Hygiene, something like that. That internal hearth that you're creating. And that's the time when you can move those beliefs. Not in your autumn. When you're PMSing, you're just catching them. And then when I bleed, I sit with those beliefs that I wrote during my autumn. I feel so differently energetically. I feel like those beliefs almost don't pertain to me anymore, but I just move them out of my system. I release them one at a time. I pull them out and I bring in a deeper, more truer belief. It's really helpful. Before I did that, before I even looked at my cycle or started tracking it, I would always bleed and then realize, when I was PMSing, I wouldn't even know that I was PMSing. I would like just have this recurring cry that I only have 10 friends, or I don't even have 10 friends. That would always be the thought. I don't even have 10 friends. And then I'd try counting my friends and I'd be like, they're not really my friends. I have no friends. I can't even count to 10 friends. And then I would bleed. And then I'd be like, oh, why does this happen every month where I have the same exact thought and I don't realize I'm PMSing? And only once I'm bleeding, I'm realizing that was PMS. So once I started tracking my cycle and realized like, okay, these are the thoughts that are coming up. Once I started actually recording what those thoughts were and clearing them out, the next month it was a different set of limiting beliefs, which is amazing because it means that it's an ellipsis. You're going upwards, you're spiraling upwards. That you're actually using that time of the month that feels painful or unpleasant or like a squeeze or constriction. You're actually using it to evolve to the next stage. It's just feedback of what needs to change, what needs to be released. And it was so freaking helpful because I don't have that recurring thought anymore of I only have 10 friends. I have new thoughts now, new limiting beliefs that come up that were different than the months before. And this way, it also gives me a clear understanding of things are changing. Every month there is movement, every month there is shift. And it's been so helpful. So I highly recommend it. So if you don't track your period yet, please do. If you are in menopause, you can use the moon for that as well. Your body is still in a cycle. If you are male bodied, you can use the day because men's work in 24-hour cycles and not 28-day cycles. So there's a point in the day where your thoughts are the harshest that they can be. Most men that I speak to, it seems like their morning is when it's the harshest. And you're finding that time and you're catching it and you're recording the thoughts, recording them, writing them down. It already flies, moves it out 60%. It's already 60% of the work. It already shifts it. And then by doing a meditation on it, when you're feeling that openness again, that meditative state, that shifts so much of it. So if you don't already track your period, please do, please start. And then you'll start noticing everyone's different. When are your thoughts the sharpest? It could be the day before, it could be 2 days before, it could be 5 days before. Mine is usually 5 days before my bleed is when the thoughts start. And the day of or the night before is when they are the sharpest. And that's really the best time to write them all down. Hope that was helpful. And I'm wishing everybody such a good day. Bye, loves.